Yes.
As it is a court, my lord, my colleague for the state, my lord, indicated that there's something that he wanted to bring to the attention of the court.
Something.
Yes.
We just wanted to hand up the exhibits that were used by Mr. Ramosipili in his cross-examination,
Okay.
in case my colleagues should use those exhibits. The first one is exhibit LL in brackets 1. It's the affidavit of the then Captain Bentley,
Okay.
dated the 3rd of December 2014. Then the second one is the affidavit of Mr. A.B. Sifularo Muntuedi. That would be exhibit LL2,
Right.
dated the 3rd of November 2014. Then the last one will be exhibit LL in brackets 3. It's the image by the
Gracias.
defense expert, Mr. Dave Petersen. It's a test bullet from a different firearm.
Yeah. Okay. Where's the? Yeah. Okay, thanks, yeah. Wasn't there supposed to have been another affidavit of night?
No, as far as we are concerned, those are the only exhibits that were used by Mr. Ramosipili.
Is that so? I thought Mr. Mgomezulu is the one who elicited that information when he says, when the colonel came to the house of this happening, who did he find? And he said Knight, and did he have a discussion with Knight?
Bentley.
You remember that?
There's Bentley.
I mean Bentley.
Yes.
Sorry. So this affidavit is there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. Sorry, yeah.
It's LL1.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
As it is the court, my lord.
Still under oath, Colonel Mangena.
That's correct, my lord.
As it is the court, my lord. Good morning, Lieutenant Colonel.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning, Lieutenant Colonel.
Good morning, Advocate.
Thank you, sir. I did not hear you. I did not hear you.
Oh, I said good morning.
No, thank you, sir. Now, in the course of your duties, you emphasize the aspect that when exhibits are brought to you, they should be put in seal bags, not so.
Uthe emsebenzini wakho ugcizelela ukuthi uma kulethwa ke okufanele kuzohlola kufanele kulethwe ngesikhwama esivaliwe akunjalo.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kunjalo.
And these seal bags are designed, I may think, are designed with your, when they designed these seal bags, they invite certain individuals from your office to come and be part of the design of these different seal bags in which different items that are picked up the seals should be put in, not so.
Manje kuma kwakhiwa lezi ikhwama lezi kusho ukuthi babiza abathize ehhovisi lakho ukuthi beze bazofaka imbono ukuthi sifanele yakhiwe kanjani lezi ikhwama.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know about the design of the exhibit bags.
Oh, okay.
Cha ngasilutho ke mayelana nokwakhiwa kwezikhwama noma ukuplanwa ukuthi zakhiwa kanjani lezi ikhwama.
Thank you. Now, but it is imperative that those bags should have seals, not so.
Manje kusho ukuthi ke lezi khwama lezi zifanele zibe la nalezi zinto kuthiwa amasili kusho ukuthi into yokuvalisisa.
In other words, a locking mechanism. Once you put in the exhibit inside the bag, then you lock it. Not so.
Ke uma ukuthi khona kufakiwe la ngaphakathi kwalesi sikhwama kusho kufanele kukhiwe.
That's correct, my lord. You seal the bag.
Athi yebo kunjalo ziyazikhiya lezi khwama.
Now, what is an imperative of a seal in a bag that should be sealed after an exhibit has put in the bag, has been put in the bag?
Manje yini kumsebenzi waloku walesi sivalo kuvalwa ngaso uma sekuwukuthi ke khona exhibit efakwe ngaphakathi.
My lord, all the exhibits that we work on, once we're done working on exhibits, we put them in sealed bags and they must be sent back to the stations where they're coming from.
Athi mase sisebenzisileke le mbukiso yonke imisetshenziswe kufanele ifake ezikhwameni ezikhiwayo ukuthi sizibuyisele ngazo.
Yes, that I understand. It's protocol. Even if it's for the first time that an exhibit is collected from the scene, once it is put in a seal bag, the seal bag must, the bag must be sealed. Now the question is, why is that necessary? What are the imperatives? Why should that be done? That's the question.
Ukuthi yini indaba zifanele zikhiwe lezi khwama?
Meaning the exhibit bag which have been examined already, that must go back to the station. Are we talking about those ones?
A police officer goes to the scene, a member of the LCRC goes to the scene. He picks up certain exhibits in the scene.
Yes.
He puts them in a bag, and then he seals the bag. And then he transfers them over to either a forensic science laboratory, either the biology unit or the ballistic unit. Now the question is, why should that bag be immediately sealed at the scene before it is transferred to you?
Buzuthi ke uma ukuthi phesa lifika endaweni esigameko lifike kube khona imbukiso elithathayo lapha. Yini indaba mase lifake kulezi khwama sifanele zikhiwe lezi khwama zingakaqhutshisiselwe phambili.
To preserve the integrity of the exhibits, my lord.
Ukuthi ke kungabi nakuguquka okuzoba khona kule mibukiso efakwe ngaphakathi kwesikhwama.
And that's the preservation of the integrity of the exhibit that are contained in the bag. Now, in an event that a seal bag arrives at the forensic science laboratory, let's talk about the ballistic section specifically, and you realize that no, the seal bag has been tampered with. What is the next step? What
Uma ukuthi isikhwama ke siyalethwa ke sinombukiso ongala ngaphakathi uma usubheka ubone ukuthi cha bese sivuliwe kwenzeka.
My lord, if the exhibits are brought to the lab with it's either broken seal or open bag,
Yes.
we don't receive those exhibits.
Nje ukuthi imbukiso elethwa lapha kithina kuwukuthi ke isikhwama siyabonakala ukuthi bese sivuliwe noma kukhona okwenziwe ngelesi sikhwama asizamukeli.
Now back to our science of accuracy and precision. Thank you for that answer, by the way. Now back to our topic of science being an art of precision and accuracy and consistency. That's where we stopped yesterday. Thank you. Now, I'm going to suggest are you fine, Lieutenant?
That's correct. Just give me to close the sunroof of the vehicle.
Oh, okay, no, thanks. Now I'm going to suggest a scene to you. What do they call it now? A putative scene, if I may call it like that. You see, as an analyst, you receive a bullet
njengomuntu ke ohlaziyayo ke sithi nako uthola inhlamvu
or a cartridge case
noma uthola icartridge
within an hour or so. You've been able to identify the marks, and then you compare it with the test bullets for the gun that you would have received, which is suspected to have been used in the incident. For an hour or so, you find all those marks, and then you're done with the comparison. Not so.
asithi ke uyathola ke inhlamvu uthola icartridge nenhlamvu ebese ke uyakwazi ukuthi uhlole wenze wonke umsebenzi wakho wenzayo mase udubuleke lezi inhlamvu othesta ngazo ubusuyahlola ke usuqeda umsebenzi wakho wenza kanjalo kanjalo.
You happy with the markings? Your comparison says no, this is positive. You've got this
Manje
down.
musubhekile kuwe usuyabona ukuthi cha hayi kuyabonakala ukuthi no ziyafanana lezinto ihambe kahle i-test yakho uyabona ukuthi cha iyamkeleka.
That does happen, not so. To find a comparison within an hour or so, and then you're happy with everything that we have done.
Kuyenzeka yini ukuthi nge-hour nje lodwa usukwazi ukuqeda umsebenzi wakho wabona ukuthi hayi sengithole ukuthi impela sona lesi sibhamu lesi esidubulile.
That's correct, Mal. I'll do that, but before I can seal it, I'll call another
Yes.
analyst to come and verify that for quality control, and then I can seal it.
Thank you.
Cha ukuthi ke mase ngiqeda lapho ngizobiza omunye ukuthi akeze azohlola abone naye ukuthi cela umsebenzi engwenzile ubumuhle, and then bese ke lapho ke ngikwenzela i-quality control ukusho ukuthi kulethe isiqiniseko sokuthi konke kwenziwe ngendlela efanele.
Thank you. And let us say that the results, that there's a positive match. In other words, the scene bullet and the fired and the test bullet are matching each other. It's a positive result.
Okusho ukuthi ke nalapho ukuthola ukuthi inhlamvu lena etholeke esigamekweni nalenhlamvu le oteste ngayo zifana ncimishi.
That's correct, Mal.
Thank you.
Yebo kunjani?
Now, you say you will refer this, you request just one of your colleagues to come and override your work. What word did you use now? Oversee?
To confirm.
Confirm, yes, to come and confirm your work, and that will be all, not so.
Oje ukuthi ubuza ke omunye osenzayo ukuthi azoqinisekisa ke lo msebenzi owenzile ukuthi wenze kahle kunjalo.
That's correct. Thank you,
Wathi
sir.
yebo kunjani?
Thank you. Now, in the case that we're busy with, you told to this court that although this was a positive result, that is according to you, there was a positive match. You called 4 people to come and confirm your results, not so.
Noma ke utholile ukuthi hayi lenhlamvu leyo uyabona ukuthi ngempela iphuma kulesi sibhamu leso ubusihlola kodwa ubize abantu abane ukuthi bazoqinisekisa imiphumela yakhe kanjani?
That's correct, Mal. I called 4 people to check it.
Yes.
Yebo ngibize abantu abane ukuthi abazoqinisekisa.
Is that a normal practice?
Into enziwa ngenjwayelo leyo.
Mal, depends on the exhibits that you have and the quality of marks that we have and the case that we are working. If it's a high profile, I'll make sure that we consent. I get more people to come and confirm the findings for quality control also.
Yeah.
Not only one person to do that.
Hayi kuya ngokuthi sisebenza ngecala elinjani kulamacala ke vele aziwayo wonke umuntu mhlawumbe abonakala nakumabonakude kanjalo siye sizama ukuthi sithole isiqinisekiso esigcwele ukuthi sinezezele abantu abahlolayo.
So, are you telling this court that ballistic analysis at the forensic science laboratory is also influenced by whether or not the case is a high-profile case or not?
Usho ukuthi ke umsebenzi wenu lona kuyenzeka yena ukuthi uncitheni icala leli nisenza ngalo icala elikhulu na?
Well, it depends on the cases. There are cases that when you look at it, you need confirm. You need to be clear with it. You need to somebody to confirm your findings. You need to make sure that your quality has been controlled.
Thank
so
you.
in such a case, we do that.
I guess khona amacala obonayo ukuthi la kuleli cala lekuyadinga ukuthi ngithole isiqiniseko esigcwele. So kuya ngokuthi icala linjani.
I'm going to continue with my example. Now there's Mr. Mnisi. He's staying in the Bundu places at Kwandebele, where there are no streets and the houses are far from each other. You know, it's Manera plus Chapi. He gets killed. And at the place where he's killed, they find a cartridge and a bullet, or they find some exhibits. Now there's a Mr. X, who is a high flyer, staying in Santen, there, Houghton, or Soweto, or wherever. He's very popular. Gets shot at, and at the scene they find some exhibits. Are you then saying to this court that the analysis that is going to be done in respect of the exhibits that were found at the scene where Mr. Mnisi was shot at, mind you, Mr. Mnisi from Kwandebele, not so, where the houses are far from each other, there's no streets there, there's nothing. So said, I mean, as I've said, it's Manera plus Chapi, you see. Now, the analysis of the exhibits that we find at Mr. Mnisi's scene will not take the same form as the analysis that would be done in respect of the gentleman that comes from Gauteng. Is that what you're saying?
Asithathe mhlambe ngokuthi ke kukhona indoda esizothi uMnisi ehlalela le emaphandleni la ehlala khona endlini lapho behlala athola ukuthi izindlu nemizi igqagqene bese ngithola lapho ke uthola ukuthi udutshuliwe ukhona ke nembukiso enikwazi uyithola mhlawumbe amakhathi mhlawumbe nenhlamvu lapho ebese kuba nenye insizwa ke nayo ehlala endaweni eziphezulu mhlawumbe koSoweto or Houghton kanjalo asithi ke nayo idutshuliwe ke nithole imbukiso lapho usho ukuthi ke uma nenza umsebenzi wenu nihlola lezi zinto ezimbili ngendlela ehlukile.
My lord, the examinations will be the same. It will depend on the exhibits. If Mr. Mnisi's case, the exhibit doesn't have clear marks, then I'll ask somebody, and the possibility of asking another person is at here. But in the case of somebody who's in Sante, his exhibit has got clear markings, it's clear, everything is clear on that one. There's no need to get more people to come and confirm that. I can only get one person to confirm it.
Ukuthi ke imbukiso lesithola enaso inempawu esingakwazi usisebenzise kalolu mawukuthi konke kucacile usithi lo dutshule eHoughton imbukiso lesithola mhlawumbe inhlambe esizithola lapho zicacile kuyabonakala kalula konke okufanele kutholakala cha akubi ngeke ngiyodinga omunye umuntu ukuthi abanye abantu abaningi ukuthi bazoletha isiqiniseko sokuthi ngempela kunjalo kodwa uma ngithola ukuthi nalo kunomaphandleni imbukiso le ayibonakali kahle yebo kuzodinga umuntu ngoba into esegcineni ukuthi sifanele sithole iqiniso.
Thank you. Now in this case you called 4 people to come and verify or to override your findings. And you've just told this court that calling 4 people gets necessitated by the fact that there are no clear markings on the bullet. So you need the 4 people to come and confirm it. Is that what you've just said?
Manje kuleli cala leli uthe udinga abantu abanu ukuthi bazole iqinisekise ukuthi ngempela umphumela wakho kulowo umhlaziya yiwona ukuthi ke kwenze lokho ngenxa ukuthi ke lezi inhlamvu kusitola bezingabonakali kahle kunjalo.
That's correct, my lord. Because of the markings on your exhibit, we're not that clear. So I need confirmation.
Thank you.
Yabo ngoba nje lesimpawu ebesila kule mbukiso lebe ebengenayo besingabonakali bengidinga ke abazoletha ke leso siqiniseko.
Thank you. And I'm going to put it to you, sir, very respectfully, you know. You know, there was something like in humble submission to God Almighty, who has gathered us from generation to generation and brought us here and gave this our own. I don't know where that come from, but I think it had to do with the old national anthem. What I'm trying to say to you is, in all respect, I'm going to put it to you that which is the reason why the expert that is going to be called by the defense, or that has been called by the defense to come and assist in the reanalysis of this result, came to the conclusion that on account of the fact that there were insufficient markings in the bullet, in the test bullet, which should have been compared with the markings in the scene bullet, came to the conclusion that you cannot conclusively say that these two items are matching, which is the reason why his conclusion would be inconclusive. In other words, it is not, I can't say, well, it is inconclusive. He'll come and explain himself what inconclusive in his terminology means. Because I don't want to doubt his explanation with my own explanation. Remember, I am not from the forensic science laboratory, particularly from the ballistic section of it. You see, but that is the gist of what I'm trying to say to you.
ukuthatha isinqumo sokuthi cha akukho ukuthola iqiniso eligcwele ukuthi ngempela lesi sibhamu lesi yiso ngempela leso ukuhlola ukuthi esidubule lenhlamvu lena le wena uyihlolile ubona sengathi sidubulile so kodwa ke isiqiniseko ke lesi ekhulunywa ngaso uthi asitholakali yena umuntu akakwazi ukuthi ngempela avela athi isona ngoba asikho isiqiniso esigcwele kahle ngalendlela ukuthi sigcine sisemukeleka kungenakungabazi.
My lord, my findings on the microscope, the individual markings that I found on the bullets and the test are sufficient enough to make it positive. And even on the 4 of my colleagues who also examined those, they came to the same conclusion that the bullet is positively linked to the firearm.
Thank you, sir.
ngibone ukuthi ke nginika isiqiniseko esilingene sokuthi leyanhlamvu le idutshulekile sesibhamu futhi ke nalaba abebesiza abebehlolile nabo ukuthi balethe isiqiniseko nabo babone ngalendlela engibone ngayo ukuthi ngempela isona lesesibhamu lesi esidubulile yanhlamvu.
Thank you, sir. Now, do you agree with me, or will I be correct to understand that the non-consistent or the inconsistency of the transfer of the mark from the tool to the exhibit that affects the quality and the quantity of the marks that are going to be found on the exhibits, on the test bullets, and or either on the scene bullets?
Can you please repeat a question? I missed the question.
Okay, thank you, sir. I am saying, would you agree with me that the inconsistent transfer of marks by the tool to the test bullet and or the scene bullet that affects the quality and the quantity of the mark on the exhibits, that is now the test bullets and the scene bullets, that will be affected when you go through the microscope? In other words, you won't find those marks because of the inconsistent transfer of the marks.
Manje ukuthi ngendlela kuguquka kwendlela izimpawu ezishiyekayo lapha kule nhlamvu le etholakala endaweni yesigameko nalezi nhlamvu lezi esidutshuliwe ebekutestwa ngazo lapha kwenza ukuthi kugcine kungekho ukuthi ngempela lezi inhlamvu lezi zinempawu ezibonakala ngokucacile.
Sorry, I'm just concerned with the language. Is it not the uniformity of the marks? The inconsistency and the uniformity of the marks. For me, these are two different concepts. But if you want to continue with the inconsistency, fine.
It's
Yeah, fine.
I may use the court's
No,
terminology.
you don't have to.
Uniformity. In other words, what I'm trying to say, the inconsistency, not the uniformity, like the non-uniformity of the transfer of the mark, in brackets, inconsistency of the transfer of the mark to the exhibits affect the quality of the marks that are going to be discerned from the exhibit, not so. That is what I'm trying to say.
Ushuthi kuguquka kwendlela ekushiyeka khona izimpawu kule mbukiso le oyiphethe. Ushuthi ugcina wenze ukuthi iquality ke yale lendlela ezizogcina lezi impawu sibonakala ngayo iphansi kakhulu kanjalo.
Before you answer, let us say, for instance, because of the fact that the barrel is worn out, this firearm has been abused and abused and abused.
Manje sithi ke mhlambe lokho kulethwa futhi ukuthi ke imbobo yalombhobho lena igubhile ngoba isetshenziswe ngendlela embi isikhathi eside.
My lord, it will affect the quality and the quantity of the
Yes.
marks, but that does not mean there won't be marks. There will be marks.
Yes.
So there were marks on those things, which we were able to compare, and we were able to make an ID on them.
Yebo, ngiyavumelana nawe ukuthi uzogcina yenze ukuthi izimpawu zingacaci ngendlela efanele, kodwa akusho ukuthi lokho ke manje angeke kube nezimpawu. Izimpawu zizoba khona lapho nanoma nje zizobe zifakeke ngalendlela ezifakeke ngayo.
Yes, Lieutenant Colonel. It's just a general supposition. I see you're very quick to say, no, but in this case, this is refined, those marks and everything. I'm not referring to this case. You see, this is just a
At one
general
stage you said
supposition.
there won't be any marks.
No, I've said it's going to affect the quality of the mark. I never said there won't be any marks.
At one
The
stage you
quality
said
and the
there
quantity of the mark. But as we have just considered, yes, that will affect the quality of the marks. That's so.
That's
The
correct.
quantity and the quality of the marks. Thank you. But I got a bit concerned when you say no. But in this case, we did find marks, and which is the reason why we were able to compare.
It's because at some stage you said there won't be marks. That's why I said there will be marks.
No, I said when the barrel is worn
Are you
out.
arguing now?
That's precisely what Council said.
Yeah, I know.
What do we
You said that. You are referring specifically to his findings, not any other case. Now you are saying you are referring to any other case. I understood you to say this particular case.
No, my lord, that's
Okay,
not what
fine.
I said. I said from the beginning that I'm going to use a particular example. That is still the trajectory of the example that I used, which is why I said to you, is it so that the non-transferability, the non-consistent transfer of the markings to the test bullet or the scene bullet that affect the quality and the quantity of the mark? I never said with specific reference to this case. The court misunderstood.
No, I don't.
But thank
Wait,
you.
wait. You'll see that if you are talking about another case, then I don't know what we are doing here.
But my lord, that is
No,
what I
just
said,
wait.
that I'm going to make
Wait,
a proposition,
wait.
a general proposition,
No.
and I'm continuing with that trajectory of
Okay,
a general
fine.
proposition.
Fine.
Thank you, sir. Now that we agree, and the fact that the quality and the quantity of those marking is affected, that will also affect the analysis of those marks, not so?
Kushuthi ubuhle nobuningi balezi impawu ezitholakala lapha kule mbukiso lo kuzogcina kunomthelela ekutheni uzobona ngendlela ebukeka kahle yini lezi impawu.
Or let me put it this way, that will have an effect on the analysis of those exhibits, not so.
Kushuthi izoba
An
nomthelela
effect.
endleleni
Yes.
ohlaziya ngayo lembukiso.
My lord, it won't be as simple as when you get bullets or cartridge cases or
Yes.
bullets fired in a firearm that has not been used
Yes.
many times.
Akufani uma ukuthi angeke kufane nanoma mhlawumbe usebenzisa isibhamu esingakasetshenziswa kakhulu.
Yes, it won't be as simple. Thank you. Now, back to this case now. Back to this case. In view of all the background that we've tried to scratch here, to sketch out here, would you then agree with me that this was a borderline case? It was not a clear-cut case. It was a borderline case.
Kushuthi nje masisibuyela kuleli cala esikhuluma ngalo. Ngicela ukuthi sivumelane ukuthi hayi leli cala leli kusho ukuthi ke lokho besenza ngakho bekuyinto esemngceleni kusho ukuthi ke ingacacile ngaleyo ndlela.
My lord, if it was a borderline case, I don't think all my colleagues would see the same thing that I saw on the bullets.
Uma kuwukuthi bengacacile hayi bengeke labo engisebenza nabo babone ngale ndlela engabona ngayo bafikelele kulesi sinqumo nami engagcina ngifinyelele kusona.
I'm putting it to you, say, that this was indeed a borderline case, which is the reason why you had to go to 4 other people for a confirmation.
Ngifuna ukubeka kwena ukuthi cha mina ngibona sengathi le case lena esemngceleni ngoba wagcina kudingeke ukuthi uthole abantu abane ukuze bazoqinisekisa lo msebenzi wokusebenza.
Thank you. Now, let's go to Exhibit 13E1. I'm going to request, my lord, with due respect, that that be beamed as well, Exhibit 13.1. As it pleases the court, my lord, I'm sorry about that. It's a bit of a flu. Exhibit 13.1, yes, where test bullet number 3690B5 was used vis-a-vis the exhibit bullet that was picked up at the scene. That is page 1 of 1, page 1 of 1. Thank you. Yeah, that's the one. But please try to beam it in a way that, yes. Thank you, sir. Now, we have agreed that ballistic analysis, it's a science that is based on the art of precision, exactitude, and accuracy and consistency. In other words, ballistic analysis being science is not based on fiction or fictional work or sentimental conclusions that we understand. Now, what's depicted there, it's the test bullet, which is on the left-hand side, and there is also the exhibit bullet. No, the test is on the right. The exhibit bullet is on the left. Thank you. Now, I'm going to request you to go very patiently with me. Very patiently. So that we don't misunderstand each other. And if we're going to do that, we're going to assist the court with a greater understanding of what is happening there. You know, we're trying to quell out some instances of assumption and everything. Now we're going to practicalize what you did in the library. I mean, in the laboratory through your microscope. Thank you. Now, as we go through the exhibit, you said you were able to identify 6 markings there, not so. Actually, in your initial testimony, 31 August 2023, you said 6. But under cross-examination of Mr. Ramsipili, you said there were actually 7. Thank you.
Uthe wakwazi ukuthi ubone izimpawu eziyisithupha la ezikhombisa ukufanana kunjalo.
That's correct, no.
Yebo kunjani?
Thank you. Now, as we will be going through this exercise, I'm going to request you to specifically refer us to what is now being depicted on the screen there, to just try and understand the basis on which you founded your conclusion. Do you understand? Do you understand?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Cela size ukuthi sibone ukuthi iziphi izathu ezakuholela ekutheni uthathe leso sinqumo. What is here?
Now, let us start with the very first mark that you were able to identify as a match.
Awake siqale ngophawu lokuqala lolu olubone ukuthi ke uphawu olufanayo kulezi inhlamvu zombili.
Maybe before you start, I'm just trying to think of an easier way of trying to do this, because if you're going to say, no, that one, we'll not be able to follow. We don't want those that ones, but we want specifics. So I'm just wondering if I can request an adjournment for the court from the court. I actually wanted to do that in the morning just to skip my mind, just to go and get a laser, like that thing which is got a red or blue color there, so that you say, that is the one that I'm now referring to, so that the court is also able to annotate, in other words, to take notes accurately, you see. So I'm just checking, my Lord, if I would not be afforded the grace to go and get that laser torch.
Yes, how long do you want the adjournment to be?
I think the witness has got a laser.
Point with the laser from the side. From the side, it's not clear on the board.
Oh, the witness does it.
Mr. Ramsipi,
okay.
What's your time? Mr. Balu?
It's 10:53, my lord.
10?
7 minutes to 11.
Okay, I'll come at 10:30.
As it will be 11:30, actually.
Okay?
Yes.
Because you say you want to
Thank you, Madam.
formulate a method.